Hi everybody, Larry Beal here. If it's happening in the Bay Area and it's an important sports story, count on Bay Area Sports Wrap to be there. In this case, aloha means hello.
Steve, any thoughts on the gambling stuff that came out this morning?
No.
Any concern about the integrity of the NBA right now?
What kind of safeguards do you and the organization have in place to try to prevent issues like that coming up?
Our legal counsel, Woody Dixon, talked to the team 4 days ago. Every team in the league does this, goes through bulletin points of everything that is, not allowed in this issue, and so our players are well aware. All players are well aware of, what they're allowed to do, what they're not allowed to do.
And on tonight's game, Al told us this morning that he's going to come off the bench again. What goes into picking the starting lineup against a team like Denver with Jokic playing center?
Al gave it away, huh? He's much nicer than I am. I think I have referenced this many times so far during camp. We have tricky decisions to make with, my desire and Draymond's desire to not have him play center for 82 games, with Moses Moody being out, with J.K. Playing really well in the opener. So we just decided, and I actually talked to Draymond yesterday, and we agreed that we just start the same way. So consider this your lucky day. I'm giving you the starting lineup beforehand. So,
Steve, sort of following up on Danny's question, you talked about the meeting you guys have with the general counsel. Yeah. How is that different in content and tone from when you played? Because obviously the evolution of, not just the NBA, all sports leagues used to keep a big distance from gambling, and now obviously the climate's changed.
We didn't even have those meetings when I played. I don't remember ever having those meetings. I don't even know what to say. Gambling scandals go back, I don't know, the Black Sox, 1919. So there's a history of this and worldwide, I think, in sports. So I don't know what else I can add, but I do know that we are well informed every year by the league.
I guess I was just trying to get some context for how it was different then versus now, given that the leagues have these partnerships. How does that change the equation in your mind? I
think the biggest thing is that our players face a lot of wrath of fans. I know I've talked to our guys. Our guys get nasty social media posts from people who have bet on games, and that's the thing that I don't like, about this the most. Our players should not have to deal with that, but they do. They probably would anyway. Even if we didn't have a partnership with these companies. So it's just kind of the modern life, social media, everyone having access to everyone else. And it's rough. I feel bad for our guys. I've gotten some emails in the past, from people I don't know saying, hey, thanks a lot. I had money on the game tonight and you screwed up by subbing so-and-so in or something like that. And, I've gotten those too. It's weird. It's really weird.
Steve, the other night, I think you went 11 deep rotation-wise. I don't know, was that in the plans? Was that maybe some foul trouble issues? Just given you do have two other players who are likely to be in the rotation or not playing.
Right.
So is 11 target? It's a little much?
It was in the plans based on 3 games in 4 nights to start the season. Generally, when you start the first game, guys are not really ready for 38 minutes, 40 minutes. even 3 and 4 nights. It's kind of weird to have 3 games in 4 nights to start the season. I always feel like, you build up during camp as much as you can, but you never play a guy 35 minutes in an exhibition game for good reason. You don't want anybody to get hurt. So it's you're usually a week into the season, 10 days into the season before your high-minute guys are really in the groove. So my aim the other night was to play a lot of people and help the overall feel of this week with so many games.
Even though he's not starting, I assume Al, will probably get some of the Jokic assignment tonight. I'm just curious how you view him defensively, maybe a little bit compared to what Looney used to be, out there with Draymond, and what that combo can do, especially against a matchup like this.
Well, you really feel Al's size and length. Some of the rebounds he got the other night, a couple of them, he reached up his arm and it looked like it went, a foot higher than everybody else's arms without jumping. He's got a great feel for the paint, for protecting the rim. The tricky part is, and I think I've said this to you guys, but if he's limited at 22 minutes and we start him, then we get the benefit of Al and Draymond together for the first 6 minutes, but then he can only play 16 minutes or so the rest of the game. And we have a lot of non-Draymond minutes after that. So if we play them together, if I start Al, it means we're going to have both of them off the floor for big stretches in the games, and that leaves us pretty vulnerable. So I'm comfortable right now, sort of bringing Al off the bench, and if he doesn't play the first 6 minutes, it's a lot easier to sort of parse out the 22 during the rest of the game.
I know he's not playing tomorrow. Any of the other veterans early in the season?
No plans right now, but it's always based on health and how they come out of tonight's game could change that.
Hey, Steve.
I am.
One of the people nailed in the thing this morning was not a team employee, but a member of a star player's entourage. And I'm just wondering, you talked about the guardrails you have around, your legal team talks to the team, but what about people who are associated but are not employees of the Warriors? Is there anything you can do that makes it trickier, I guess, to kind of watch over all those auxiliary people?
I talk to my entourage every year. I make sure all those guys.
Margot's not calling in?
Yeah, Margot and Maddie. I think that's covered in the meeting, right? I mean, it's like, and I feel very comfortable sharing details of these meetings because the league is really, adamant about this stuff. Every team has to listen closely and hear everything. And a big part of that meeting was you tell one of your friends that, so-and-so's not playing, and then that person tells somebody else, you are liable. We know this. And the league has kept us, informed and up to date on all this stuff year after year. And so that it is what it is.
Steve, do you have any update on Moses' status? Is it looking good to return at some point soon, or?
We're hopeful that he'll play tomorrow. He scrimmaged yesterday in we didn't have practice, but we had, some of the guys come in, low-minute guys, and I talked to Moses today. He said he's feeling good, so I'm hopeful that he'll play tomorrow night. That's the plan.
And then the news came out today that federal troops are not going into San Francisco. They are probably be in the East Bay. Wonder if you have any thoughts on that. I think
Daniel Lurie's an absolute superstar. We're so lucky to have him leading our city. I think everybody who lives here has felt the rebound. The city's heading in a really good direction. So many good things are happening. I think he's awesome, and we're lucky to have him, and I feel great about what he's doing and what's happening out there.
Steve, you always say you don't want to play Draymond 82 games after 5. Is there a comfortable range you want him in terms of over 82 number of games?
Not really. I mean, I just know that it's such a long haul, and he's got to play some minutes at the 5, but I just don't want to overdo it. I mean, we played him at the 5 the last 30 games after we got Jimmy, and we were great. But that's just a lot. It's a lot to handle. So we're going to have to figure it out. I don't think there's any easy answer to this, but we have to figure it out. And I may have to protect him from himself a little bit on this too.
So probably 80 or 81.
81 is good.
Hey, Coach, given how well you guys played on opening night, what are you hoping to see from the team tonight as you guys try to establish that chemistry?
Second half was what we want to see. The first half was a great description of what not to do. Second half was great. So we have to take care of the ball. You know, Denver, #1 in the league last year in fast break points. If we turn it over like we did the other night with careless turnovers, we're in huge trouble. And so that's where this game starts. And then you have to take away the easy stuff, the back cut layups, and you fall asleep because you don't like a call and the ball's being taken out and you're talking to the ref and Jokic throws it right over your head for a layup. Like, these are all things that we have to take care of. So tonight is a big discipline game.
Steve, this is the 7th season here now at Chase Center as we are entering the 7th season. What have you thought about the home court advantage you guys have built, leaving from Oracle now, and that's a good amount of seasons to build something and win games here?
Yeah, I mean, we're very comfortable here now, and crowds have been great. The arena's beautiful. It took some time. I remember the first night I stood in that locker room and looked at Steph and Dre and Clay, and we were all looking at each other like, this is so weird. We were so used to Oracle. But, over time, this has really become home, and we love the crowd. We love the vibe out there. I've talked about this before, but the fact that the building was purposely built to be intimate and not a massive, vacuous stadium, but it feels like a basketball arena out there. It's a great place to play.
Hey, Steve. Steph had that big scratch on his arm, and it's not the first time he's been scratched up like that. Do you guys worry about the physicality it takes off ball, and are there ways for you guys to sort of mitigate that?
We do, but I don't worry about the scratch. I worry about a Charlie horse or something. But that's pretty common. I mean, it's amazing, how often you see guys just scratched up. It's a physical game out there, but we're used to that. All the players are used to that.
Steven, you've always have said that Jonathan, JK's got to be a 3 in the league to have greater success or play like a 3 or shoot like whatever it is. When he's now with Draymond and Jimmy, is he the 3 or is he the 4? Is it being blended?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what he is. It matters if those 3 guys can play together consistently, and what that means, what that entails, is the most important thing for us. So we got to execute. We have to run. We can't get bogged down in the half court. One of the best things we've done since we got Jimmy was just create spacing around him. He's one of the best isolation players in the league. But with that first group, if we're going to expect to just isolate Jimmy, the defense is going to be packed in the paint. And we can do that with the top of the second quarter group when we have Quentin Post out there, Buddy Hield. We put shooting around him. So for those 3 guys to play together, we got to be great defensively, and we got to sprint the floor, and then we have to execute offensively. We have to get movement. We have to take advantage of Steph. That's what we didn't do in the first half the other night, and we did do in the third quarter. You saw JK get the slip layup. You saw him, setting screens for Steph, and then of course he knocked down threes, and if he can knock down threes at a consistent rate, then that makes everything a lot easier. But we have to get better with a lot of things for that to work consistently, and we'll be working on that.
Great, thank you.
Thanks.
Appreciate that.
Hi, I'm Warriors host Ari Waller. Please follow us and subscribe to Bay Area Sports Wrap.